my comrades, I stand before you. I stand before you this afternoon as a trained, as a young professional doctor. Comrades, but I am not the only example. There are 1,000 others who are given the same equal opportunity to realize their dreams. Comrades, because of that, we have a population of youths who are doctors, nurses, teachers, economists, young entrepreneurs, agronomists, all because this government, the PPPC government, saw it fit to invest in youths. Comrades, not forgetting the many thousands youths who are given the opportunity to attain a university education thanks to the PPPC government, who have given them the student loan to go to the University of Guyana. My dear comrades, we are hearing whispers about the return of national service by the coalition. For what? Comrades, I say no, not in this 21st century. Comrades, when we already have technical institutes throughout this country, we have the Linden Technical Institute, the Lenora Technical Institute, GTI, GTIC, we have Carnegie, and so many more. These comrades are already there. What we have to do is to build and expand on our existing foundation.
Comrades, I joined the PNCR in 2006, campaigning on the policies outlined in the manifesto, some of which included free education from nursery to tertiary, the establishment of a deep water harbor, empowerment of young people through the Youth Empowerment Scheme, Amerindians Development. Comrades, under the leadership of Mr. David Granger, youth and their education, women and empowerment, Amerindian development have been cast aside. We do recall that budgetary allocations were cut by the combined opposition in the 10th Parliament. Comrades, is that not a betrayal by the leadership of a partnership for national unity? Is that not destruction of our country? Comrades, a partnership for national unity and the AFC claim to be democratic and use propaganda as a tool to convince young people that the PPPC is bad and destructive in nature. And if we air an untruth often enough, after a while, we would not know what is the truth. But comrades, I have received the worst forms of emotional, verbal, and psychological abuse within the opposition camp. I believe, comrades, that if I did not leave when I did, I may have experienced physical abuse, since abuse occurs in stages. Comrades, I was abused for sending an email to David Granger, providing reasons why the partnership should support the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering Terrorism Act. I was told that young people are collateral damage when I opposed their decision to cut the students' loan provision to attend the University of Guyana.
Comrades, on May the 11th, we will continue with this journey. We will make no mistake about where we will place our X. We are voting for peace. We are voting for progress. And we are voting for prosperity. We are not voting for no ex-military men. because the man has got around him a whole heap of ex-soldiers and ex-policemen. So what can we expect? Can we expect that if these people ever get into government, that we will get either police state or military state? Do we want that? Comrades, therefore it means that there's no place or no time for hesitation. There's no place or no time for hesitation and equivocation. Voting for the PPP and the COP must be decisive on our part.
And when Odinga Lumumba got up to speak, he said, I'm not going to call the person's name, Mr. X, I'm accusing you today of child labor. So the person got very surprised. He was visibly shocked, the PNC top brass. And Odinga said, I'm accusing you of child labor because when I was 14 years old, you made me vote 34 times. Granger, a man who seeks to be the president of all of the people of this country. If a man who seeks that high office in 2015 can say elections were never rigged in Guyana, then three things we can discern about him. He lacks the decency to admit the truth. He's unrepentant about the past, or he is delusional. And any one of those characteristics will be bad for this country, because we can't have a president in this country who lies, who is delusional, and is unrepentant about the past. National unity doesn't come about because you take two rejects from the PPP and put them in a platform. National unity can't come about if you cut the $80 billion from the budget. National unity can't come about if you sabotage the Mila Fault, which will bring cheaper electricity to people. National unity can't come about if you take away money from students whilst you're promising free education. National unity can't come about if you don't want to support the sugar industry when they go in crisis, but all along when they were contributing positively to the treasury, you didn't say anything. National unity can't come about if you don't want to support the rice industry. National unity can't come about because if you, every opportunity you see race in everything, that people's race, you don't see the nature of their worth, but their race. National unity can only come about if you respect people of all races, you respect their religion. And I dare say only one party can do that. That is the People's Progressive Party.
There has been considerable progress in the critical sectors of education, health, housing, and infrastructural development. Continuity is important so that we can build on these achievements. This development has taken place in a climate of economic and political stability. We have been able to maintain steady economic growth that has attracted investments from both local and foreign investors. Our private sector has contributed significantly in this development drive, and the PPPC's manifesto will commit to facilitating the further growth of the private sector, and within this context, the government will continue to promote the full implementation of the National Competitiveness Strategy, which was crafted under the PPPC administration in collaboration with the private sector, a very unique initiative. the potential for growth, expansion, and the emergence of new frontiers of economic opportunities is now greater than at any other time in our history. And we must capitalize on this and ensure that the benefits reach all of the regions and communities of our country. Guyana has always been a hospitable nation. We welcome the valuable contribution which foreign nationals have made and continue to make to the development of our country. Mindful that our nationals have also contributed, and many still do contribute their skills, knowledge, and expertise in countries which they have since adopted as their homeland. We will continue to respect the rights of migrant workers, and we will embrace our diaspora for them to also tap into the national development agenda that we have laid out. In all of our development aspirations, we have sought to maintain the sovereignty and territorial and integrity of our country. That has to remain a united goal for all of us, and it is one that will remain a priority of the next PPPC government.
One of the things that they have been saying is that we do not consult, but we consulted them extensively, but they do not want to be consulted sometimes. They want to create problems to damage the development of our society. By the record of the opposition, we see that we cannot trust them with our future. Because being president, you must also have character. How can David Granger now say that he wants to pass the anti-money laundering bill when on 2 occasions he voted against it? How can he now talk about sugar too big to fail when he voted against assisting the sugar industry? Character is important. Character is important in high office of our country. All of these things, how are they? For them, development is not their primary focus. Their primary focus is power, so that you can go after 12, forget bag twine in the office in Saturday afternoon. That is not their whole trust is not for development. If you look at the negotiations that they had before they had this agreement, you will see what they were talking about. They were not talking about what program to develop Guyana. They were talking about who will be president, who will be prime minister, 4 vice presidents they want. They also want who will be finance minister, and the front runner is the worst finance minister that this country ever had. And they talk about who will be Minister of Home Affairs. And the other man was the man who was caught on tape, his voice authenticated on the tape, planning to plant cocaine on a woman who worked at Congress Place, their own comrade. This man is now in Parliament. This was the same man, Felix. When he was commissioner, he couldn't catch a thief man. 1 week after he left office, the police broke up the gang in Buxton and saved the people in Buxton who were held hostage by those criminals. And he was the man with Basil Williams. You remember the gaff on the telephone? When he tell Basil Williams thank him. Basil Williams thanked Felix when the criminals killed 8 people on the east bank of the Marara. Before their bodies were cold, Basil Williams was thanking Felix for turning the thing away from the direction that it was going to the PNC.